attitude musically, lyrically, and as a person.
I remember writing a paper in high school about how the rock stars, especially like John Lennon, was a prophet, really. He had, I bought into that he was more popular than Jesus Christ.
Right.
His music meant more than any religious figure. Would you do a little bit of Imagine?
Sure.
All right.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for the day. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Maybe one day you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. Well, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Maybe one day you will join us, and the world will live as one. Maybe one day you will join us, and the world will live as one.
Beautiful.
I think John would be proud of that.
Welcome to the Rotary Club of Tucson, and welcome guests. If I can have people take their seats, please. Wow, like everybody really quieted down. Past President Mark, I didn't realize I had that kind of authority. So I love it. So actually, if I could go ahead and invite up, might need to get to the correct page, Sandra Johnson. She is going to lead us in The Pledge and Song, My Country 'Tis Thee, joined in May of this year. Real estate sales with Indy Realty and Pima Community College. Come on up.
Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I already informed the ladies that in my world, keys are for opening doors that I can't sing, so you guys are on your own. Think of this as the open door experience.
And next up, recently, well, not that recently retired, Joe Daniszewski is going to lead the Inspiration, retired from Boy Scouts of America, and proper pronunciation, Lemoyne College. Take it away, Joe.
Great. The Lemoyne Dolphins, which is the mascot in Syracuse, New York. I'm not sure there's many dolphins swimming around in central New York, but well, today we're talking about peace and promoting peace. There are 7 Rotary causes, and peace is listed first. Rotary encourages conversations to foster understanding within and across cultures. We train adults and young leaders to prevent and mediate conflict and help refugees who have fled dangerous areas. Each year, Rotary awards up to 130 fully funded fellowships for dedicated leaders from around the world to study at one of our peace centers. The fellowship covers tuition and fees, room and board, round-trip transportation, and internship and field study expenses. The program began in 2002. Since then, the Rotary Peace Centers have trained more than 1,500 fellows who now work in over 115 countries. Many serve as leaders in government, NGOs, education, and research institutions, peacekeeping and law enforcement agencies, and international organizations like the United Nations and the World Bank. To work on your master program, you get to choose from the following peace centers: Duke University and University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, International Christian University in Tokyo, Japan, the University of Bradford in Bradford, England, the University of Queensland, Brisbane, Australia, Uppsala University in Uppsala, Sweden. What an opportunity is for a younger person to be a Peace Fellow. I ask that you think about people who could become a Peace Fellow. They're generally in an occupation now where they're helping promote peace, and there are wonderful opportunities available. Our Rotary District has had 2 candidates the last 2 years. I'd love to see us have more. So if you know someone that fits the bill of being a Peace Scholar, please let me know. I would love to sit down with them. If you're interested in finding out more about Peace Fellowship, please take a look at, just do a search, Rotary International Peace Fellowship. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy your fellowship, and we'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes. Okay. All right. Okay. No, I didn't. Yeah, it was, I mean, it might have been intentional, so I think we're in good shape today.
Okay, after I kind of think we went through some things with this information.
Oh, so I'm on the money. Yeah, no, you're good.
Oh, all right. All right. She's getting her blue badge. She's getting her well. So Anita's getting her blue badge today. She's not getting her.
I just put Jerry down and I crossed you off my list.
Hey, folks, I will still sell raffle tickets over here at the raffle table if you would like. Come on by.
We're very fashionable. Yeah, and going from city to city to city. He said, but so most of them, yeah, I have seen that sounds so cool though. So you have these magnets, like carved flags. And so what they constituted was the lid would fall out, so they would put out yeah, and then move it, I guess. Anyway, the guy said, I saw one in Illinois, in the middle of the field. They had their house. Well, I can't wait to see it. So do you play? My daughter came out. Yeah, she's a regular on the roster. They have a huge outreach program for classes. A lot of community service. Oh yeah, that was the only one I had. It was probably. Well, every once in a while. Yeah. So you do. Were you the one who asked for pictures? No, that was Right, and for Grand Jury, I don't take pictures of me anywhere. I don't even mind. Was that for the? Oh yeah. I mean, I had my line tag, and it wasn't by the But people don't know how to play, they don't necessarily know. Yeah.
And there's always another route to go. There's that.
Chocolate cake. I am Ricky. I'm Ricky, yes.
Welcome back. If I could invite up Sergeant at Arms Extraordinaire Chris Dodge, who gets to run down the list of all of our guests. Chris.
Who's that? Welcome guest, if it was that easy. But it's not, because I'm going to introduce your names. And when I introduce your name, stand up and wave and say hello, all right? Because we want to say hello back to you. So guest of Monty Clausen, say hello to Joni Clausen. Hi, Joni. Guest of Jen Hoffman, say hello to her son, Noah Hoffman. Hi, Noah. And as well as our new exchange student, Rotary exchange student, say hello to Blyo. Hi, Blyo. Guest of Brittany Battle, say hello to Luke Smith. Hey, Luke. And guest of Mike Anderson, say hello to Madeline Anderson. Hi, Madeline. Another guest of Mike Anderson, say hello to Juan Siscomani. Hi, Juan. He won his primary yesterday, by the way. Congratulations, sir. And guest of John Harned, and one of the best hikers out there in the world. Say hello to Michael Manny. Where are you? Are you over there? Hi, there you are. There's Michael. That's all I got. Back to you, sir.
Okay, is now on to the program. And today's program is going to be a little bit different, but hopefully by the time it's done, you'll sort of get my point. I'm not going to go ahead and read through the bio. If you want to do that, it's in the Tucson. But what I do want to do is I want to start by telling you just a little story. And I know that many of the Rotarians in this room that have been in Rotary for a long time are familiar with it. I didn't become aware of it until I went to the Rotary International Conference. Now, I think that many know that women were not allowed in Rotary until 1987. But there was a Rotary Club in California that actually had been admitting women prior to that. And how they would get away with it is they listed all the members with their first initial last name. So it was J. Hoffman and M. Freitas and et cetera, until they elected a new president. And Rotary International discovered that that person happened to be a female. So they revoked Rotary's charter. So that group actually continued on as calling themselves the non-Rotary Club. And some of the attorneys in that club basically sued Rotary International. It went all the way to the Supreme Court, of which Supreme Court ruled in favor, and so Rotary International had to open their doors to women. and thank God that they did. So jump forward about another 10 years, and there was a woman that I met at Rotary International, and she joined Rotary in 1987, and she and her husband went over to Europe, and they were touring around in Italy, and she's like, oh, cool, I'm going to go to a Rotary meeting. She got to the door, and she was promptly stopped and said, I'm sorry, you're not allowed. And she said, but wait a minute, I'm a Rotarian, I'm in Rotary. I'm sorry, women are not allowed. So some of that persisted around the world, but here in the States, the doors were open. Jump forward another 20 years, and membership was actually starting to get upset with Rotary International because year after year after year after year, men kept getting elected. And so Jennifer Jones is the first woman to be elected as the Rotary International president. So what's the point of the video? Is, you know, I think all presidents try to line up great speakers and great presentations for membership. But in doing so, when do we actually look at Rotary? When do we focus on Rotary and talk about the good that we do in this world? And so I had the opportunity to meet Jennifer Jones briefly when I went to the President-elect's training in Los Angeles. And this presentation was from the Rotary International Convention. And so it's about 16, 17 minutes long. And so what I want for members to do is they're kind of hearing from our president is reflect a little bit on Rotary and think about, you know, what it means to you and some of the reasons that you joined and the important work that we do in our community around the world. So if we can go ahead and roll the video. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Brad and Marcia, for the incredibly kind introduction. Hello, Rotary family. In order to live in the kind of society you want, you have to help build it. These words were authored by a very special man. He's a current Rotary Club president, and someone sitting in front of me today, my brother David. I see these words as a call to action, a prescription for the future, and quite candidly, what our family of Rotary does every single day. Each of you is a leader in our organization, and that means that we have a responsibility to shape our communities and to shape our world. Sitting next to David is my brother Darren, an incredibly talented Chicago-based artist and the creator of our theme painting called Imagine One's Dream. It was crafted to inspire our official theme ties and scarves for the upcoming year, and they'll be used by our governors to raise critical funds for polio. Next to David and Darren are my parents, John and Joyce Jones. They instilled in all of us a sense of wonder and adventure. They encouraged us to carve our own path, to imagine, and to chase our dreams. They helped us know that anything and everything was possible. For the past 2 years, the most common question that I have received is, how does it feel to be our first woman president? I will confess, I feel a sense of excitement brewing because I truly believe that this opens opportunities for lifting and celebrating each of our diverse perspective. We've all taken a different path to get here. Some because your father was a Rotarian, some because an employer tapped you on the shoulder, and others because a U.S. Supreme Court ruling permitted women to join. And yet, each one of us entered through one mechanism, an invitation. That's why I'm determined to harness diversity, equity, and inclusion to advance this invitation across the Rotary world, honoring and living our DEI efforts is much more than a trend in popular culture. It's about fully understanding and celebrating our differences. It's a profound step in weaving the global mosaic of humanity. And when it comes to DEI, what matters most to me isn't words, it's results. We have 2 years left to achieve the board set target of 30% of women in Rotary by 2023. We've come a long way, and already 110 countries have achieved this goal. That said, we have a long way to go, and 30% is the next stop on the way to 50. And you know, our members in Rotaract have already achieved this distinction. For each of us, it's about making our meetings and events one where we can speak openly and honestly with each other, where our members feel welcome and safe. And this means removing barriers for entry and opening doors for inclusion. We need Rotary leaders to rise from every continent, culture, and creed. We need young members to take on larger roles and responsibilities. We need to listen to new Rotary members just as keenly and with immense respect as those with many years of membership. Now, more than ever in our shared history, we need to be good to one another, to look out for each other, to raise each other's up, and to protect those who are in our care. This is a great city to talk about big goals. I want to take you to May 25th, 1961, when then U.S. President John F. Kennedy boldly declared what was seen as improbable, the moonshot, a chance to be the first to land a man on the moon. And we heard about that this week. He said, "I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to Earth." So let's us do everything in our power to meet and exceed our targets as rapidly as possible. It may seem as unlikely as a moonshot, but Houston knows well enough what can be accomplished on a tight deadline. And when people of action are committed to a big goal, well, we know it's worth every single ounce of our energy. Several years back, there was a movie called Hidden Figures, celebrated some of the unsung heroes of the space race. And one of those heroes was Dorothy Vaughan, who was portrayed by actor Octavia Spencer. Dorothy Vaughan was the first African American woman to hold a managerial position in NASA. She was a brilliant mathematician who was silently legendary in her talent for spotting hard-working, capable colleagues and her tireless advocacy for their advancement. Entire generations of women from all backgrounds owe their careers to her, and hundreds of vital scientific breakthroughs resulted from that influx of talent. That kind of legacy means a great deal, because being a first in Rotary doesn't really mean anything until there's a second and a third. And it means our members of diverse perspective taking up an ever-increasing role in Rotary around the world. Recently, I was watching a YouTube video of a late-night talk show, and the host was interviewing Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman. Some of you will remember her bright yellow coat as she offered words to the American people during their last presidential inauguration. She said, "The more that we can bring ourselves, our authentic selves, with hope into the moment, the more that moment will show up for us." Those words ring true for me. As we grow Rotary, we need to welcome leaders who arrive as their authentic selves, who open new doors, who walk different paths, and have so much to offer. It's a big task. And as people of purpose, people of influence, and people of action, we all have a role to play. Surveys over many years have found that the comfort and care of our members is the single greatest driver of member satisfaction and retention. So, we need to ensure that our member comfort and care is our absolute top priority. We need to end the revolving door of attracting new members and then losing them all too quickly. Let's help create club experiences that are welcoming, inclusive, and enjoyable for each and every member. And let's extend that warmth and belonging to every participant who wishes to engage with our clubs. And permit me to be honest and candid. We're not going to do this by throwing our doors wide open. Our values are our strength, and it means as an organization of excellence, we expect that same quality in our members as well. Each year, and earlier this year, I told the governors-elect about meeting a wise young interactor named Peter. He told me, if you want responsible children, you need to give them responsibilities. I believe he has offered us a nugget of gold. Simply change out one word. If you want responsible members, you need to give them responsibilities. I've always enjoyed receiving I'm glad you like that. I'm glad you like that. It's important and it's critical to our success. I always enjoy receiving wisdom from youth, and Peter, I know, is on to something important. We need to ask our members what they want out of their experience, and then we need to provide them with these meaningful responsibilities. It's our offer of hands-on service, personal growth, leadership development, and lifelong friendships that create purpose and passion. These are our responsibilities. If we serve our members, we serve our communities, and if we provide comfort and care for our members, they'll truly come to understand the power of Rotary. And please understand, when I use the term members, it means Rotary and Rotaract. We are all Rotary members. I was going to ask where our Rotaractors are in the house right now, but I think we know. I think they're right there. I want to briefly share some great news about Rotaract. Starting on July 1st, I have appointed a Rotaractor who will serve as a Rotary Public Image Coordinator. The recent Council on Legislation affirmed this decision, and I will include Rotaractors on several international level committees, like membership and the Convention Committee for Melbourne. I'm convening a Youth Advisory Council to elevate the development and protection of programs that nurture and define our future leaders. And in the Imagine Rotary year, I'm going to be assigning a select group of Rotaractors as president's representatives to our district conferences. We have so much to learn from each other. We have been entrusted with leadership in our great organization, and now it's up to us to be brave and intentional in our actions. I want us to be trailblazers. This includes our Empowering Girls initiative that President Shaker launched last year. It has resonated powerfully, as you know, around the world. We will continue this bold effort, recognizing that empowered girls become empowered women. This year, we're also going to shine a bright light on projects that put Rotary service on display to the world. Nick and I are embarking on an Imagine Impact tour where we plan to visit visible, high-impact projects across our areas of focus to draw attention to the incredible work that all of you are doing. Each of these stops will have a different media approach. On some, we're going to bring top-tier global journalists with us to help tell your stories. On others, we're going to bring influencers who will use their social media presence to reach people who we want to serve, but have not yet realized they can do it through Rotary. Regardless of the approach, our intent is to raise awareness of what we as people of action do. So what are your stories? And who can help tell them? 50 years ago, an anthem was recorded that included the beautiful line that you just heard. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hear that lyric as a call to action. We all have dreams, but acting on them is a choice. And when organizations like ours dream big things like ending polio and creating peace, it becomes our responsibility to make these dreams a reality. Imagine a world that deserves our best, where we get up every single day knowing that we can make a difference. You don't imagine yesterday, you imagine tomorrow. Imagine a world without polio. Imagine a world with clean water for everyone. Imagine a world free of disease. A world where every child learns to read. Imagine kindness and hope and love and peace. And that is why this year, my friends, I am asking you to imagine Rotary. Just 1 second. Imagina Rotary. Imaginons le Rotary. Imagina y a Rotary. Imagine Rotary. Sang sang hara Rotary. Imagina u ha Rotary. Shong shong fulung. Imagine Rotary. Thank you.
I hope that I hope every one of you actually got some little nuggets out of that. And one of the things that she mentioned, and I actually had this in my first meeting with some of the comments that I had, and it's about the member experience and wanting to figure out ways to be able to enhance the experience for every one of you in this room. And so that's things that I'm looking to hear from our membership on, and what we can do to be able to elevate everybody's experience. So I hope you enjoyed that meeting. Now I do have a comment is, for somebody that was counting down 365 days to get off of the stage, he's been up here, I feel like damn near every week. So if I could invite up our past president, President number 101 to introduce a new member.
Drina put me up here because Bruce needs somebody to watch him, and we're so glad he finally knows the difference between Make Way for Books and Reading Seed. And by the way, as everybody knows, I did that exact same thing my first couple of meetings as well, so I was fun to kind of harass him and pimp him a little bit. I think it's great to hear the message that Jennifer had to say, and I heard some reoccurring themes. As everybody know, we felt really strong last year about corporate members, family members, better diversity in our club, women, let's work on age. The women, I think, is really important, and I think it's really cool that we are one of those clubs that's hit 30%, and we're moving towards that 50% number. So I want to introduce, I guess, and just continuing that theme, I want to introduce another amazing woman to Rotary. I personally have a goal for every man I bring in, I have to bring in at least 2 women, and I will tell you I'm on that goal, just in case anybody cares. So who I'm going to introduce you to is a really cool Texas gal. You guys know how I feel about Texans, given I'm one. She moved to Tucson right before high school. I'll give you 2 guesses where she went. There you go, Sal Point. So she got out of Sal Point, she runs off to Gonzaga, goes to college, meets her sweetie, Matt. Years later, they get married. That's a whole nother story. My story with Elizabeth goes back to 97. Fresh out of school, we hired Elizabeth to be our director to work on major projects and events. During that time, David Lovett and I had convinced Diana Medeiros to be our president, and David and I came up with this goofy idea, 1M before 2K. We wanted to raise $1 million before the year 2000. We were doing this big event in 1999, and this was Elizabeth's first rodeo. To tell you that Elizabeth knocked the ball out of the park and that we raised over $1 million would be an understatement. Sadly, she left us, went back to Washington. Matt had gotten the position with Starbucks. Thank God they decided they didn't like that after 3 years and came back. I was actually in an interview. I had hired Elizabeth originally with Boys and Girls Club way back then in '97. I was actually in an interview and took a break, and Elizabeth called me to tell me she was moving back. What are you going to do? Well, I don't know. I really liked Boys and Girls Club. By the way, when she was in Washington, she worked for Boys and Girls Club. So I said, if you're telling me you want to come back, we'll stop the interviews right now. You'll save us a lot of time. And so Elizabeth came back to us. She was with us for many years until those hoodlums at the Catholic Foundation stole them. I've already told Gerald knows. I've given him a lot of grief about this. What I like about Elizabeth is she makes stuff happen. I think she's going to be a great addition to our club. I already talked about her husband, Matt. She's got 2 great kids, Lauren and Sam. What I think is great, and I get pictures all the time, she likes to fish, and she likes to go back to Texas. And we're just really lucky to have them. Very involved in the community and a lot of different stuff. I don't even want to, I could go on for 2 days with that. But I will tell you, I'm just really tickled to have Elizabeth join us as our newest and greatest Rotary Club member. Elizabeth.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here. I'm excited to be a part of this Rotary Club. This community, Tucson, Southern Arizona, means a lot to me and my family. And getting to know people and making a difference is what I'm here for. So I can't wait to get really involved and make a difference here in our club. Thank you for having me.
By the way, all the information I got was not because Elizabeth completed her high profiles online. We'll talk about that later.
Chris, I didn't even have to call you up. So how much money do we have?
I'll tell you.
I've been told there's only one camera working. I'm not trying to steal the podium, but that's what they told me to do. We have $752 in the pot, some of which $50 of it, or $45 of it, is in my pocket that you will win automatically if your ticket is drawn. So pull out your tickets. I'm shuffling the cards. I forgot to show you that the King of Clubs is in there, but it's in there somewhere. I could find it, but you all trust me, so let's go with the trust thing. I mean, it's part of the four-way test. Vicky, pick up the winning ticket. And here it is. It is 152399. Who is the winner? Oh, I don't, maybe no winners. Where is it? Oh, Chuck! Congratulations, Chuck. Now let's see if you won $752 extra for a grand total of $800 for the day. This could be a good one. I'm not going to let you. 9 of diamonds, Chuck. I'm going to give it to you. That's your consolation prize. All right, congratulations. I'll bring you your money.
Next, if I could have Jen Hoffman and Jeannie Zita come up to introduce us to a very special guest. By the way, while they're coming up, I just want you to know I'm going to bank this extra time because I already know we're going to get out of here early. So somewhere in the future, I'm going to spend it. So I just want you to remember that.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm delighted to say we are building peace one student at a time because we've got our new Rotary Youth Exchange student, Novoa Alvarez from Vigo, Spain, and he's staying with Hoffman's. And do you want to say something before Pelayo gets to speak? Or actually, we'll let Pelayo speak. He arrived Sunday night, and he can share with you a little bit of his impressions of Tucson in the last couple days.
Hi, I'm Pelayo Novoa. I'm from Spain, Vigo, as Cindy said. And so far about this change, it's just been like a hard way since I arrived from Spain. I had to get used to all the language, and this family had helped me just about 3 days. I just feel home, just at a time. And one thing that my father used to say a lot to me was time, give to the time. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. Sorry. I don't know if that make a lot of sense in English, but in Spanish means like you have to wait till you succeed and never seem back. And I think that for me that's one of the meanings of this exchange, to know everybody, to feel like I live here, and I just live some part of me here.
I know I've been a huge advocate of the Rotary Youth Exchange program, but I'm super pleased that it's back in action and we're having students coming in and going out again. And I've been so lucky with awesome kids, with Christina, Pedro, and now Pelayo. The relationships our family have built with these kids, the impact is monumentous. They're part of our family, and we're so very, very fortunate to have Pelayo with us. We've been having a good time. Yeah, and he gets to go to school with Noah, and they have classes together, so he has his own private tour guide at Ironwood Ridge High School. So, but come meet Pelayo if you guys are interested in sharing taking them to a ball game, a concert, whatever. Reach out to me because we don't want you guys to blow up his phone too much. But we're glad you're here, Pelayo.
Yes. Want to take a picture with? Oh, sure. Looks like Chris is taking pictures.
Faster, Dot, faster. I was wondering, those digital cameras, they normally click off pretty quick. I didn't know if you were like having to crank that thing up to move it to the next one. Actually, next up, there's a video. I know some of you have seen this. And we also, when we had the presentation from JTED, you saw a little bit of the display, but there was this little news clip that was on, and I thought it was important to be able to share it with you, not to mention it was certainly a great plug for our club. So if we can roll that video.
About augmented reality glasses, being used for things like video games, but one Tucson school is using them for teaching. 9 on your side's Faith Abercrombie shows us how Pima JTED is using a new grant from the Rotary Club to put a spin on their medical programs.
New innovative technology at the school will actually give students the ability to see the science right before their eyes.
What that does is gives them a tremendous advantage of being able to see two things at once.
Or multiple organs at once.
Through a portable device, bring that mannequin's anatomy to a space where it's like playing a virtual game, and be able to identify certain organs and anatomical structures and see things that may be going on.
Pima JTED is using part of their nearly $500,000 grant from the Rotary Club of Tucson to introduce augmented reality in the classroom.
We are going to be able to do something that not many high schools are able to do because of this support.
High school students in a medical or nursing program will be able to use the glasses during patient simulation.
We're introducing a mid-fidelity mannequin named Aries, and he will be used to train not only our licensed nursing assistant students, but our medical assistant students. They will learn in a very safe, controlled environment.
JTED is hoping to expand this technology on their other 2 campuses, attracting more students to healthcare professions.
And I just hope that we are able to provide the best possible education in healthcare, because we know and we are in severe shortages, and we need to do things to make our kids want to come here and learn.
The school is expecting to launch the new augmented reality in about a month. In Tucson, Faith Abercrombie, KGUN 9 on your side.
I think that is great. Just want to make an announcement about Save the Date. Is our mixer is going to be on August the 31st. Tentatively is still has to be confirmed, but tentatively we're going to do it at Noble Hops, which opened up at the old Javelina Cantina there at the Doubletree at Broadway and Alvernon. So I'm pretty sure we should be able to pull that one off, but as soon as we get confirmation, we'll get that out. So hopefully you'll be able to sign up and attend. Next up is District Conference. This is just a little bit of what some of the breakout sessions are. They kind of pattern this off of not only Rotary International, but the President-elect training. It's Friday, September 23rd and Saturday the 24th. One of the things that's pretty cool about it is you can sign up for the entire package, or you can go in a la carte. So if it's a situation where maybe you can't maybe you couldn't attend on Friday, but you could on Saturday, or you decided you didn't want to go to the dinner Saturday night, things of that nature. But I'm hoping that we get a good turnout from our club, being the largest club in the state. So anyway, if you have questions on that, please go ahead and attend. One other to mention is I know that Thomas ended up raising the money for us to be a silver sponsor, but if there are any members that you think that it would be appropriate with your business and decide you want to be a sponsor, is the different levels are listed up there. So I just wanted to go ahead and give that a plug as well. And then am I able to control? Yeah, I'll go ahead and advance it from here if that works. So the question, how did I do in the month of July for Miles for Memories? My goal was basically to average a minimum of 5 miles a day. And so I started off in the beginning of July with this scene, looking out the window and wandering the beaches of San Diego. The next slide I'm going to bring up is I have to give credit where credit is due. Is half of the miles that I accomplished this year, at least half of the miles, are due to a certain woman in my life. And yep, you guessed it, it's Roxy. So I was out, with an umbrella walking in the rain this morning, so, there's just, duty calls. But, besides, my own miles is, also wanted to do this with certainly creating memories with fellow Rotarians. This was the death march that Chris marched us on. Appreciate that. I think my legs have almost recovered since that time. And, here's some other miles that, were accomplished with some of our fellow members. I did leave out some of the pictures that I had of some of the other members, because some memories you do want to forget. So for the month of July, I ended up averaging 6.32 miles a day. I did 195.32 miles for the month of July. So, yeah, trust me, I don't think I'm going to be doing that every month. But again, if there is an opportunity for you to maybe be able to support me in the Miles for Memories, again, there's different options on where you can donate to. You can donate to the foundation toward your Paul Harris. Certainly, as we know, polio could continue to fight that battle. It can also go into the President's discretionary fund, or if there's other specific causes within Rotary that you'd like to go ahead and do. So, Bobby, I was looking around, I'm like, I don't see Bobby, but I see him on the agenda, so.
Well, first, thank you very much. Thanks, Bruce. Well, first of all, to kind of help get you all going here with Miles of Memories, I'd like to donate $3,000 to Bruce's shoe closet that he's going to need to have for all those shoes. So thank you very much, Bruce. And that's also going to be a donation to our car show, because I'm hoping that'll kind of hopefully break some ice here too. People can donate, not have to get tickets if you don't want tickets, but hopefully that'll kind of get things started. So my 1 minute very quickly today is the cards we had passed out to everybody. I always will talk about online sales #1, but I think this is probably the second best way to get people to buy tickets. If you're at a restaurant and you get your bill, hand them this when you give them the money back. If they buy one ticket, fantastic. They may buy 10 tickets. They may tell other people that tell other people, and it turns into a whole bunch of people. It's a great picture of the car right on the front. I've gotten a lot of comments about that already. And remember, this ticket that they would be buying is not only a ticket to the best car show in Southern Arizona, but a chance to win a fabulous convertible Corvette or $40,000. So thank you very much. Get out there.
And next up, Jerry Harwell, I believe that you have a blue badge to present.
In 2010, this young lady beside me showed up at my wife's 75th birthday party, along with John Wong and my daughter. They both went to Princeton, and they talked for 30 minutes about it. June of last year, I was in Safeway, and I saw this young lady, and I said, "Do you like talking to yourself?" And she said, "No." I said, "Come on over to the house. Eleanor can no longer talk." We've become fast friends. I brought her to Rotary in August of last year for 4 meetings, and at the end of the 4th meeting, she said, "I'd like to join." So I'm here to give her her blue badge. And you can say whatever you want.
Oh, I have to say something?
Yeah.
Usually he tells me to be quiet. Well, this has been very exciting. I never knew anything about Rotary, except there was one sort of near where I lived. And I was too busy holding down 2 jobs and trying to put my daughter through college. So I never belonged to anything because there were never enough hours in the week. So this has been just very eye-opening to me. My great-grandfather was a founder of the University of Arizona. My aunt and uncle were very involved in all kinds of events and groups and charitable groups in Tucson their whole lives. So that was something that wasn't foreign to me. It's just nothing that I never had the time trying to pay bills and all that. So this is a wonderful opportunity for me to get my act together, and give back. Thank you.
And before I wrap it up, since we are going to go ahead and finish a little bit early, I hope that we've had a great turnout today, and I hope maybe some of you consider to stay a little bit and visit with some of your fellow Rotarians, because I know a lot of times during the meetings we're pretty limited on how much time we're able to do that. So again, I want to thank everybody for coming, our guests, both in person as well as virtually. If you don't regularly contribute to the scholarship cups, I hope you'll consider throwing a few bucks into the cups. Remember to return your blue badge. Elizabeth, welcome to the club. And Anita, congratulations on your blue badge. Next week, we have our very own Mike and Oksana Schulte speaking. It's a personal experience of their ties to Ukraine and what's been going on, the communication that they've had. It's a little bit of a different story than what you hear in the news. So I know it's going to be a great program next week. So now if we could have a toast to adjourn. We live in a world where dreams come true. We imagined a better and quicker way to communicate and invented the phone. We imagined the ability to travel quicker, and we invented automobiles. We imagined the ability to fly and invented planes. Imagine the world as a better place, and Rotary was founded. Now imagine how you can contribute to those dreams. We are adjourned. Hear, hear.